Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I think the problem with the wheels on this rover might actually be because they're facing opposite directions. It's hard to tell. They are very symmetrical. So let's go ahead and ditch these and we'll try once more. We're not going to ditch this one though. Okay, let's go ahead and I really want to make four-way symmetry work. So let's see about this, shall we? I mean, it's trying to do this, which is really, really awkward. It's treating this as if it's a circle. So maybe we want to switch into mirror symmetry instead. And place this like right about here. And then, not like that, but upside down. I like it. Let's see, there's surely a way to do this. There does not appear to be a way to do this. Well, we'll just place it here and then rotate it. Hopefully, that won't be an issue. It appears to be okay. Now, this is obviously lower, so we're going to go ahead and lower this side to be down to there, and then snap that into place as well. And then the idea is, hopefully they're facing the same direction this time. We'll find out. We'll go ahead and save this, and I moved these liquid fuel engines up here, but we also are probably going to need to rotate them kind of like this so that their superheated jets are pointing out away from the vehicle. That's going to reduce some of their effectiveness, efficiency, if you will, but that's probably okay. So let's give this a quick test run. Now, one thing to note is the gravity, or rather the thrust to weight ratio on Moho is about 6 times greater than the thrust to weight ratio here on Kerbal. So let's go ahead and turn on our lights. Okay, so far so good. Okay. I think they may be facing opposite directions again. And fighting each other. Let's find out. Let's disable this motor. Theoretically. Okay. Do we just have too much weight on it? Let's find out. If we do that, and then get rid of this, yeah, we just had too much weight on it. Now it's working fine. Ah! Stop turning. Okay. So now it's not working so fine. It's not wanting to go again. So we have this motor disabled, this motor enabled. Steering directions are going kind of inverted from where they should be. It likes to spin. It doesn't like to go. Also, this thing got... Whoa! Okay. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I don't think that's how physics works. Let's revert to launch and see if we've fixed the small problem of our engines lighting this thing on fire. Shall we? Okay. We appear to be spinning rather rapidly. We can stop that with SAS, though. That seems fine. Yeah, and with some mech jeb, we should be okay. So let's go ahead and revert that as well. So we've definitely got the thrust to weight to land this thing. And then the idea for getting rid of the tank after we're landed, if we have any fuel left, the idea for that would be to do something along the lines of this. And off it goes. Way up there. It'll come back eventually, but theoretically we would be gone by then. If we weren't, you know, stuck on the separator. And then, oh, here we go again. And we're fine. We're fine. What did we actually lose there? We lost a solar panel. Okay. That appears to be it, as far as losses go. So, backwards appears to spin us. Forwards appears to do nothing. Although when we release it, it spins us slightly. And then yawing does actually turn our wheels. Rolling does nothing, as expected. Okay, so yeah, we just need to fix our wheels. And this thing will be fine. I think we're just about ready to do this. Let's revert back to vehicle assembly here. And I just want to test if we reverse the motor direction on this thing. We have motors enabled on both of these. Motor direction normal, motor direction reverse. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're fighting our two wheels, or our two front and rear wheels. I think that's what's happening here. So we'll find out. So let's go ahead and get rid of our tank here. So just throttle up and mash space until it's all gone. There we go. And now, well, that's still happening. And we're fine. I don't know why that's still happening, but it is. So we're able to very slowly turn like this by going reverse. Looks like reverse is currently forward. Is forward currently reverse? Well, let's brake and get rid of our momentum. So forward does nothing. Reverse does nothing. Well, that's definitely progress of some description. So let's try not flipping this. Steering directions are currently inverted, which I believe are correct. That looks correct, yeah. Oh, that was interesting. So, yeah. Reverse appears to go forward, and forward appears to go reverse, but we're definitely sticking. Something is sticking. And I have to wonder what. Like, there's something here that is causing the wheels to stick, I think, at this point. We do need to invert the direction of both of these, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Yeah, I think having them not be inverted is correct. But there's something that is physics here that is causing it to stick, I think. That's my current theory. It may just be the launch pad. I mean, we could try falling off the launch pad again. This is definitely an intriguing method of getting around. Almost there. Okay, now we're stuck. Okay. So let's go back to launch, and I'm curious. I want to see what happens if we're landed with the weight on top of us. If we retract our wheels here, which we don't seem to actually be able to do on the ground. Oh no, we can. What am I talking about? So we can retract our wheels. And then we can extend them. And that seems to work fine on the ground. And then if we fire this with SAS on, this is lowering our weight on the wheels a little bit. And we seem to be able to get around like this. And then if we turn it off, we still seem to be able to get around. That's intriguing. We're moving pretty brisk. We're going to turn on the brakes. There we go. And now if we get rid of this thing, specifically just trying to dump it. Yeah, that, well, it's sliding off. It'll be fine. Yeah, I think the problem is actually the suspension on these is too weak. I think we're sinking too low or something, because it seemed to work fine when we lowered the weight on there. So let's try reverting back to vehicle assembly. I'm sorry this is taking a while. This is kind of trial and error. But let's try increasing our spring strength up to 2. It could be that we're kind of overweight for these wheels. Let's see if that works. What exactly that'll do. I mean, it should just increase the strength of our suspension, theoretically. And if that is indeed the problem, then we should be able to get rid of this weight, like that. And now theoretically it should work, but it isn't. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure why these wheels are not, you know, going. Let's try retracting them and redeploying them and see what that actually does. Well, now it's trying to go in some capacity. The wheels are, yeah, it's definitely working, I think. Try to go forward, we're going backwards. Try to go backward, we're going backwards even faster. Okay. Well, that's certainly intriguing. If we're turning, it seems to work a little bit better. Maybe we just need to ditch these wheels. I didn't want to recover vessel, I wanted to revert. Oh well. Maybe if we just ditch these wheels and get different wheels. It might be the wheels. So let's go ahead and hop back into the VAB. And let's try ditching these Rovmax wheels. Mirror symmetry. This is the M1F, this is the M1. And this is the S2. Now we could go for S2s, but I kind of want the M1 model. So let's see how this works. I mean, we could just leave it like this without rotation, but that's not ever going to work. So let's go ahead and rotate you to be there, and then rotate you to be there. I mean, I definitely don't like these wheels as much. What's the impact tolerance of these anyway? 50 meters per second. Wow. Okay. Well, that's not bad. Well, let's see if these wheels can actually run this thing. It could be that we just had too small of wheels. In which case, entirely my fault. And we were borderline before. Oh my. I mean, we're top heavy. Oh, let's revert that back to launch. But that definitely proved a point. And then let's just... We're top heavy because of this. So let's get this out of here. There we go. Oh man, that stack separator. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? But hey, we settled back here and nothing actually got destroyed. So our turning is inverted. Our speed is really high. Like, absurdly high. We don't need this kind of speed. So let's go ahead and revert this back to vehicle assembly. Once again, we're getting close though. we want to invert the steering direction on both of these wheels. And actually, I don't think I snapped the placement for these. No, I did not. So let's just go ahead and do that. Excellent. Now, we are obviously too powerful. Also, this snapped inward. I'd like to move it out a bit, like that. Wider stance. Excellent. So we're obviously too powerful in terms of our motors. So let's disable our rear motors for now and see how that feels. We don't want to be flying off all over the place on Moho. We want to keep this thing relatively slow. I wish we could adjust the actual motor strength, but that doesn't seem to be a slider. Okay. Go ahead and ditch that. Hopefully our stack separator will get on out of there. Get out of here, stack separator. No? It doesn't want to get out of there. There we go. And let's turn on our brakes. We are still really fast. But it seems to like settling on this side, which is good. This design is definitely seeming to be functional. Now, we did lose one of our... Hello, what was that twitch? We did lose one of our solar panel arrays, which is unfortunate. I think we lost that to the stack separator. Oh wow, we can actually get all this. There we go. Okay, so what's our top speed in this thing? Still probably way too high. Oh yeah. Still way too high. We're going at 25 meters per second. That is insane. Like, I want to limit the motor. If we brake right now, we're actually going to flip. Watch this. But we're actually settling in a quasi-recoverable place. I mean, these guys don't retract. So let's go ahead and recover this to grab that science. We're almost done designing this thing. Maybe what we need, like maybe that traction control slider is what I'm looking for to change that. I don't know. That was only 15 science, so it was barely worth it, but it's still fine. So, yeah, I'm just thinking maybe what we do is we reduce the traction control on this to like 0.3. And then turn this motor back on. Let's see how that one works. The main problem is there appears to be a cooldown with getting rid of the actual, getting rid of the fuel tank. I can't mash the spacebar and have the next stage go instantly. So it takes a little bit. There we go. Get at it here, you jerk. There. Excellent. So the traction control doesn't appear to have slowed us down too much, does it? Nope. In fact, we're cruising along at 30 meters per second here. We're about to go airborne. That's okay. I'll revert this one probably. Oh yeah. Oh, man. So traction control isn't doing what I'm looking for. The good news is once we get this thing designed, this will be able to land on everything. We'll just take off the radiator if we're not landing somewhere hot. That'll be fine. So even with this tank, I mean, we are hugely top heavy with it. So there is that. But even with the tank, this thing is moving pretty quick. I mean, yeah. The main issue is the motors are just way too strong. Now we could try increasing the traction control and see if that's what I'm looking for. Get out of here. I mean, we're fine. See, we're fine. Nope, we're not fine. Oh, man. Yeah, the traction control doesn't seem to be really what I'm looking for, although it did feel better with 5 traction control. Let's just go ahead and get rid of our tank. Bump this guy up. Like so. And then... Whoa, now. Yeah. That's the main issue. And I'm not sure how to get around that, other than, like, quick save, and just hope that the physics doesn't bug out, because, I mean, that's not my fault. That's the physics engine just freaking out. Look at that. It's insane. Not too much we can do about that one. That I can think of, anyway. Other than, like, build up a head of steam or go up a little bit higher, maybe? Kind of like that, and hope it bounces off. But then it takes something with it sometimes. And we're just gonna go ahead and go down here and flip over. Because I didn't increase the traction beforehand. So yeah, let's go ahead and revert this back to launch one more time. We're getting very close to actually launching this thing. And I just want to figure out exactly what this traction control does. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of here. And head on down this way. I mean, we can leave this basically where it's at. Oh my. That seems correct. Okay, there we go. We can leave it basically where it's at. I mean, we can always just be careful with when we're driving it. That's not a big deal. Brake. Yeah, okay. So I think, yeah, it's been braking the communicatron, which is a huge problem. So we do need to rethink our detachment mechanism. And I'm not entirely sure what we're going to go with for that, but we do need something, clearly. I mean, maybe we just stick on a strut beneath it or something? I'm not sure. Because we need to get rid of this stack separator. Definitely. I mean, we could try it with a decoupler and just see how that works. Just a TD12. And give that a quick try. But I promise, next episode, we're going to go to Moho. This thing is just about fully featured. I just want to solve this small stack separator issue. So let's go ahead and see how this works. I mean, it's still connected, but that's not the end of the world. It's not flying around. We can extend our antenna. We can extend our solar panels. We can toggle our brakes and flip over just about. But we're fine. We're stuck. Why are we stuck here? That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, brakes are on. There we go. That's why we were stuck. It was because the brakes were on. So we'll just have to be careful. I think this is functional. We can turn on the lights. We have solar panels. We have a radiator. And all of that doesn't blow through our electric charge super, super quickly. We've got our antenna here. It should be fine to connect to our relay satellite. And I mean, we burn through our electric charge pretty quick when we're moving, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, and then we can just slowly brake like this. Just go down a little bit, and then once we get down to around 3 meters per second, we can then toggle our brakes to actually stop. Yeah, I think this is functional. This'll work. So let's go ahead and revert this to vehicle assembly. And next episode, we'll figure out how to put this thing in a rocket and send it to Moho. See you all then.